I'm Bubs, and I'd like to tell you some tricks I use to make my original characters come across more masculine or more feminine. Keep in mind that this advice is based off of stereotypical presentations of binary gender, and may only be helpful if that's what you're going for. For our masculine-leaning face, I tend to opt for more sharp angles and wider shapes, especially in regards to the jawline. I also tend to utilize thicker eyebrows. Meanwhile, for a feminine-leaning face, I might try to use softer and rounder shapes with a more pointed chin. I also tend to give feminine faces thinner or smaller noses, bigger eyes, and thinner eyebrows. When differentiating body types, I use similar ideas in using boxier shapes for masculine characters and rounder shapes for feminine characters, but the proportions are the biggest difference. For masculine bodies, I tend to make the shoulders wider than the hips and make sure that the torso is long. For the legs, I keep the thighs and the calves roughly equal length. For more feminine figures, I make it so that the hips and shoulders are roughly equal width, if not make the hips wider than the shoulders, as well as shorten the torso. I also make the calves longer than the thighs here. I find that focusing on proportionality rather than specific shapes can be really helpful in applying this concept to all sorts of body types, regardless of weight, height, muscularity, or other factors. Of course, having these kinds of ideas in your back pocket can also be helpful if you want to create a character that appears more androgynous. Simply mix and match these stereotypical traits until your character is ready to make people question some things. Hope this helps. Bye!